on days 3 and 4 now of short division, and today what I want to do is I want to take a look at 4-digit number division. I know it's not much different, but it's sometimes I just want to reiterate just taking things slowly when it comes to this. I think if you rush when you've got bigger numbers, you are more likely to make mistakes. And I think that's a really important message when it comes to working with bigger numbers, just because it's a method that you can do really quickly with small numbers. Just take your time when it comes to doing it with big numbers, because the last thing you want is to make a really silly little mistake right at the beginning, and it means that you have to do it twice. All of the numbers we're working with today should not have any remainders at the end, because that's not the objective for year 4. So if you, for example, have some remainders left at the end, that does suggest that maybe you've gone wrong somewhere. So let's have a look and make a start with our first question. So just like last time, we are having a think about our numbers. We've got 4 numbers this time that are waiting to catch the number 3 bus. Which number would be first to get on the bus? It would be number 9. That helps to remind us that obviously we are looking at short division and we need to start from the left. So in this case, we would be starting with our 9. So we start off by thinking to ourselves, how many 3s are there in 9? So I'm counting in 3s. 3, 6, 9. It's 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. Now in this case, I actually don't need to do any exchanging, because I have no remainders left over, so I can just leave it at 3 and move on to my next digit. And my next digit is 3. So how many 3s are in 3? Nice and easy, it's 1. Don't be tempted to make the really simple mistake that lots of people make, is they would put a 3 on the answer box, on the answer line, because it's all been 3s so far. Make sure you remember that it's 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, and then I move on to my next digit, onto my 10s. This time I've got a 1, so I'm thinking, how many 3s are there in 1? Well, obviously 1's smaller than 3. So there is a temptation here again to put the wrong number in the answer line, or just leave the answer line and forget about it. If we have a 4-digit number here, then we should have a 4-digit number here. So let's have a look. If 1's too small, I have no 3s in 1. So I need to remember to put a 0 in there. And then I can put this 1, then goes here because it is a remainder. I've exchanged it. I've now got 18 1s. So then I'm thinking about my 3 times table, and I'm going to count up in 3s. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Well, if you counted that with me, you would have 6 fingers up at the moment, because 3 times 6 is 18. So my answer is 3,106. Now again, just to home in on that 0, lots of people would be telling me it's 316, because they've missed that 0. It is important. It does change the number quite significantly, so we do need to make sure we remember to put a 0 in, even if it's in the middle of our answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. So here I've got 6,765 divided by 5. So I start this time with my 6,000s, as that is nearest to the bus, the number 5 bus. And the number of 5s that are in 6 is 1, because 1 times 5 is 5, and 6 is only 1 more. So therefore, I would have to count on 1 to get from 5 to 6. So I have 1 remainder. So my 1 remainder is exchanged, and it goes there to make that number now 17. So now again, thinking in my 5 times table, 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, 20 is too big, so I'll go back to 15, which is 3 times 5. So therefore, I put a 3 in my answer. And if 3 times 5 is 15, then 16, 17, I've got 2 remainders which go there to make 26. Now already those of you who are eager mathematicians will know that there is going to be a remainder for this one, because in the 5 times table the number must end in 0 or 5, and this number ends in a 6, being 26. So let's count in 5s until we get to a number that's bigger than 26. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 is too big, so knock that one off and go back down to 25. 5 5s are 25. So I need to make sure I fill my 5 in there. Oh, that's a bit of a big 5, isn't it? It's quite hard to write with a mouse. And then if I'm counting from 25 to 26, I would count on 1 more. So that becomes 15. And we know that 3 times 5 is 15, giving me the answer of 1,353 as my answer to 6,765 divided by 5. Okay, so I think this is our last example now. So let's have a little look at this one. So, obviously the 9 is in the thousands place. It's nearest to the number 4 bus. That's the number that we start with because we always start on the left when doing short division. So how many 4s are there in 9? So again, I'm thinking about counting in 4s if I'm not good with my times tables. So 4, 8, 12. So 12's too big. So I'd go back down to my 8, which is 2 times 4. So I'll put my 2 in there. If I'm counting from 8 to 9, it would be 1 more. So I've now got 18. So again, I'm going to count in 4s till I get to 18 or above. So I'll be going 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. Now the problem I've got now is that 20 is too big. So I knock one off and I'm left with 4 times 4, which is 16. So that is 2. No, that's... I've lost my tongue. So 4 times 4 is 16, so I'll be putting a 4 in there. And I've got 2 remainders left over. So what I need to do with those 2 remainders is I need to exchange them. So they go here for 24. Excellent. So what I need to do now is, looking at my 24, I need to count in 4s until I get to 24. Or I could use a times table that I know, because I know that 5 times 4 is 20. So therefore that's 5 is 20, so 6 would be 24. So I know that that must be 6. That's an example of me using my times tables rather than counting. And then looking at my 8 and thinking, where does my 8 come into my 4 times table? And it is 2 times 4. So, 9,848 divided by 4 is 2,462. I've got a little tongue tied there in the middle, so we'll just make sure that I definitely got that right. So let's have a little check. So what is 9,848 divided by 4?
It's 2,462.
Brilliant, I did get it right. I don't know why I got confused there in the middle, but it's easy to do when you're working with big numbers. So that's why you have to work through slowly and methodically, because if you rush, you can easily get things tied and can easily make a mistake, which is why I stopped when I was starting to get a little bit, I've lost where I'm going. I stopped, regrouped and carried on. I didn't just plough on because I may well have made a mistake. And that's what you've got to do when working with bigger numbers. You've just got to be methodical and just stop, be prepared to stop and have another think part way through if there's something that doesn't quite feel right. Keep safe, keep washing those hands. Hopefully this has helped, and I will hopefully see you soon. Okay, bye.